Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're looking at some men who don't understand the female anatomy. And maybe some women in there too. I certainly don't know what's going on down there all the time. Ah yes, anime physics. Yes, when there is a strong gust of wind, our breasts blow into our faces. Women are such magical creatures, aren't we? Just majestic. I'm gonna download that period calendar app. It tells you when you're ovulating / most fertile after a few cycles. That could definitely come in handy, if you want. It seems like a bad idea when someone grabs hold of your phone and sees a menstruation chart app on your phone. Don't you mean a spray app? Just spraying every month? That's what we do. Just nice. I'm spraying right now. You just can't see it because it's from here down. Nearly every girl has downloaded that app, trust me. If anything, there's no point in using the app. Girls just want to keep track of when their period is coming. Just check your own periods. Just check your own periods. You know, Jimmy, I wish it was that simple. All right, Scott, I wish it were that simple, but it's not. Just check it. Oh, how do you propose I do that? Which one is your favorite misogynistic analogy? All of these comments are different people. It's part judge and part of worth. Her value as a woman and wife go down. She will let anyone in. They get poked. We do the poking. Two different things. Two different things entirely. We are the key, they are the hole. Compare it to buying a car. We want a new car. We can settle for a certified pre-owned dealership car, but no one wants a 200k mile Craigslist beater. Hunter that's killed 20 deer. Greater than deer that's been shot 20 times. Nice analogy. Really illustrates your point. So you're comparing women to deer now? All right. It's respectful for a guy to have a high count since it takes effort. It takes effort. Maybe for you. I just don't want a used car with a lot of miles. A key that can open many locks. A lock that can be opened by many keys. I just can't. I literally cannot even. Remind me not to touch your key. Keep that key away. No, get it away! I have a lightsaber! Helena, can I ask you a weird question? Like, kind of really freaking weird. As in, I've tried to Google it, but the results don't make sense, and it didn't answer it weird. Yes, of course. Stop being dramatic. What do you want to know? So when girls first get their periods, they use pads / tampons, etc. But later in life, you don't use them anymore? So it's like potty training on... Like, so you can learn how to hold it in, but it takes way longer than learning how to hold in your pee. Wait, so if that's not what happens, what is that? What happens then? What happens? It depends on what you're referring to, but I feel like you're talking about menopause. No, we just get really good at holding it in, you know? These videos always make me laugh so hard. Bad women's anatomy from a gynecologist. No frickin' way, really? There's a gynecologist in my area who insists on tracking menstrual cycles of the nurses who work with him. Why? Well, because he doesn't want them to make him coffee or tea when on their period because they are unpure. A gynecologist. I guess I'm just really not pure right now, am I? I am tainted. Tainted by the spray. Tainted by the blood of our ancestors. Filthy women in their monthly cycles. Filthy. Oh, what do you think is gonna happen? You think it's gonna get in your coffee? What the? Hi! Most of my family members are redheads. We're part of the 1%. Considering the majority of humans are dark-haired and that genome is dominant, it's only a matter of time until your red hair is bred extinct. Not likely, considering we're Irish and Scottish descendants, considering both of my kids were fathered by dark-haired DNA and a redheaded DNA. The redheaded won out. I think you underestimate redheads. Facts, bro! There's spit everywhere. I love that. I'm celebrating. We're not gonna go extinct. We're just not. Skips a generation. My grandchildren will have red hair, and their grandchildren will have red hair. It's a hideaway gene. You know, it hides, but it's there. You will never escape us. The daywalkers will rise again. In response to me agreeing that women should be able to go shirtless, I said there's no difference between a man's nipples and a woman's. What do we got? The difference being women have these things called breasts and men don't, which is why it's considered indecent for women to be shirtless in public, because breasts are sexually attractive, whereas a man's chest isn't. So we get a free pass. It's always been like this. Stop crying and deal with it. Triggered feminist. Wow, thank you for the education on breasts. I didn't know that. You have utterly fulfilled my life by mansplaining my own body to me. After reviewing your profile, seeing that you're a 17-year-old boy and seeing your page, which solely consists of pics and questions referencing them, I can see that I'm not going to be able to persuade you to see things rationally. Breasts aren't put there for your sexual pleasure. They're there to feed babies. If you are too immature to see a woman's chest without your head exploding, that's your problem, not mine, and not other women's. Didn't you just get off the teat, bruh? You're only 17, you're literally still on the teat, so just zip it. Zip it. If I want to show my titties in public, I can show my titties, all right? I got babies to feed. Not yet, but I got babies to feed. You are my babies. Lol, we have raised our daughters to require a damn app to keep track of their period. My generation has failed at parenting. God help this country when these kids are running it. Surely any woman who knows her own body will know when something's not right. We don't just get an email that's you ovulating. Your period's coming. Sometimes we know. I'm not gonna lie, leading up to this week, I'm why am I crying at commercials? And it's oh, right, my period's coming. That makes sense. But other than that, generally, we don't really know when an egg pops off. We just don't. We are amazing, but not that amazing. On occasion, the egg popping does hurt a little bit. Oh, that was a big one. Too much? Am I too much? I feel like maybe. This guy I was talking to was saying how women play sports just as well as men, and he said, one time I was reffing a women's softball game on the full moon, and I was like, what does it matter if it's on the full moon? And he was like, well, the full moon. Women on the full moon. Go on. I don't get it. And he was like, periods. And he thought all women just get their periods on the full moon, and I thought it was really funny that he confused women with werewolves. We are werewolves. We are. That would be sick though. Can you imagine how sick that would be if you just got your period on the full moon? That would be nice. Then you don't need an app. I love it. So funny. This is the guy that believes in the monthly spray. I believe in the monthly spray, but only as a joke. He really believes in it. Ow! Ow, ow, ow. That's not big. For an organ that does all this? Well, I thought the womb was the size of a cherry or something. Bro, I don't know. A cherry. Oh, so that's sweet. You think it's the size of a cherry? You think a whole baby's gonna fit inside a cherry? Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Women have curves. Women are nothing but curves. Women are spheres. Everyone is spheres. Join us. Give up your lines. Become one of the orbs. Wouldn't it feel good to abandon your lines? The f are you talking about? What do you mean? Well, what do you mean? Not safe for work? Everything is not safe for work. I swear, if YouTube would let me monetize some of this, we'd have a way funnier video. Alas. Gotta stay advertiser friendly, kids. Because apparently there are children watching YouTube. What I found on a YouTube short about Megan Fox. She got 6 goddamned kids. If you knew how worn out it is, instead of Stretch Armstrong, she's Stretch Fox. Said like a true simp. Fact, she used to be way hotter. The way incels like you talk about a woman's body parts is honestly concerning. Please never reproduce. Never. I second that. You clearly don't know how a vagina works. And that doesn't surprise me. This person is telling me that men and women's nipples aren't the same. They just conveniently have the same name. There literally is obvious and significant differences between most men and women's nipples though. You either haven't seen many or think just because they're the same body part means they're the same despite differences in appearance. A difference in appearance doesn't mean that they are different. Men and women's nipples are the same. They are literally the same. I think the only person who hasn't seen very many boobies is you. Again, doesn't surprise me. On a TikTok about a girl realizing she'd had a tampon in for 24 hours. You didn't pee in 24 hours? Too many ignorant comments. You don't know how tampons work. You pee around the tampon? Don't clean after you pee? You see the thing ding-a-lang? You see the thing dangling? What am I missing? I can't see when I'm gonna demonetize. Okay. Men share their bad takes on women going braless. Probably because breasts are alluring and command more attention than breasts that are firmly held in place. And other women get kind of jealous. We live in a society that has sexualized breasts way out of proportion, and going braless is almost akin to walking around with a banana. It's also why women almost never go topless, even where it is legal to do so. It baffles me as well, but it's a sort of double-edged sword. She is free and you don't judge, but her freedom is enticing. But you have to be careful, although cleavage does no harm. By careful, you mean respectful? If you've got huge breasts and you're not wearing a bra, I'm going to be under the impression that you don't care about taking good care of your body. This most likely really bothers me because my aunt eventually had back problems, which her doctor told her could have been prevented if she spent the last 30 years wearing a bra. As for nipples pointing out, well, if you're someone who has perky nipples all the time, that's going to draw attention, and that is your fault. I don't want any part of the drama that's kind of attractive. If not, I could care less. Not a big deal unless you can actually see nips, in which case it lacks class. That for me just points out which girls I wouldn't date, you know, the ones without nipples, those are the ones I choose. I don't mind braless bobs, but at least for the first dates, she should wear one out of moderation. I don't know why I picture like all these dudes kind of like standing around with like pipes and like some sherry. I don't care if a woman goes braless as long as it's not my wife or daughter. It bothers me because it keeps dangling and I can't focus. It would be the same as men walking around in shorts with no underwear and their wee-wees keep swinging from side to side like a bell. Extremely distracting. If the woman has saggy breasts, it annoys me even more because the swinging intensifies. If my date showed up with no bra, I would be in doubt, wondering if she's a radical feminist that thinks bra is a form of oppression. And I'd assume she's crazy. Or if she was trying to make her breasts more appealing to me so we could have crazy sex later. As a matter of principle, I have no issues with it, but where I do object is that it be a persistent distraction to be around. If the majority of women started going braless, I don't think I would enjoy being at half-mast all day. Also, I definitely wouldn't want to see female friends like that. Having sexual thoughts about my friends is something I want to avoid at all costs. Being able to see their nips through their shirts sounds like a great way to make that very difficult. You can't force a thought down, but you can prevent it from happening. I'm saying, I hate it because it's distracting as and gives her an upper hand over me in a way. Whenever I interact with women, I try to have as much control over myself as possible. But if they're braless, holy frick, it gets distracting. Edit. That's not to say women shouldn't wear whatever they want. But man, I hate it when they control my attention just because nature blessed them with boobs. They are a powerful weapon, and they consciously use it against my poor, maneked brain. I think we're gonna end the video there, my friends. I think that's enough for today. Cool. Well, I guess there's nothing left to say except,